Bible story, Samson and Delilah. Samson was chosen by Yah, God Almighty, before birth to be a Nazarite, meaning he was set apart for Yah's purpose. Samson was instructed to avoid drinking wine, touching anything dead, or the cutting of his hair. His supernatural strength came from the spirit of Yahuwah, symbolized by his uncut hair. Samson had enemies by the name of the Philistine rulers. These enemies of Samson plotted and schemed to bring destruction to Samson. Samson fell in love with a woman named Delilah, who lived in the valley of Sorek. The Philistine rulers offered Delilah money to discover the secret of Samson's strength so they could capture him. So Delilah said to Samson, "Please tell me where your great strength lies and with what you may be bound to afflict you." Samson made up a false scenarios to give to Delilah concerning his great strength and how he could be subdued. But with much pressure, Delilah was able to manipulate Samson to give up his secret and tell her the truth. That his strength was tied to his vow to the Most High, and that if his hair were cut, his strength would leave him. Delilah waited until Samson fell asleep in her lap, called for a man to shave off his 7 locks, and then she said, "The Philistines are upon you, Samson." He awoke, thinking he could break free as before, but he did not know that Yahuwah had departed from him. Therefore, the Philistines were able to seize him, gouge out his eyes, and took him to prison. They were rejoicing, saying, "Our God has delivered into our hands Samson, our enemy." But Samson's hair had begun to grow back, and he cried out to Yahuwah, saying, "O Yahuwah, remember me, I pray. Strengthen me, I pray just this once, that I may take vengeance on the Philistines for my 2 eyes." And Samson took hold of the 2 middle pillars which supported the temple, and he braced himself against them and said, "Let me die with the Philistines." And he pushed with all his might, and the temple fell on the rulers and all the people who were in it. Samson was killed. His family came to retrieve his body to be buried. Samson had judged Israel for 20 years. Believers, according to this biblical event, it is my understanding that your strength comes from your relationship with God Almighty Yahuwah. Samson's power wasn't in the hair itself, but in the vow of obedience tied to it. When the covenant was broken, his spiritual covering was removed. Delilah represents distraction and temptation. The enemy often comes through emotional attachment and subtle compromise. Delilah didn't stop asking for Samson's secret. She was persistent until she got her answer. Just like the enemy, pressing and pressing with temptation and manipulation until we set firm boundaries. When we become so distracted by temptation, we stop seeing Yah clearly, therefore leaving us vulnerable and an easy target for the enemy's traps. But Samson's hair began to grow again, symbolizing restoration. In the end, Yah gave him enough strength one final time to destroy his enemies. Believers, may I encourage you to stay alert to what or who tries to cut your connection to Yahuwah. Our true strength is in obedience, and when we fall, Yahuwah's grace can renew our strength again. Check out this Bible story in Judges chapter 16. All praise to the Most High Yah. I love you, and I'll see you in the next upload.